I just came off the Young Turks show where I lit into the Democratic Party. Losers, corporate Democrats, they're corrupt.
We still have an electorate, 70 million plus, that will be voting for a man who said he was going to assassinate for treason the chairman of the Joint Chiefs because he didn't support him on January the 6th, who said just in recent days he was going to execute Liz Cheney with a firing squad, 9 guns pointed and shooting at her face. A man who has said that he was going to shut down CBS because he didn't like how they edited an interview. A man who said he was going to be a dictator from day one. A man who said he was going to terminate the Constitution. A man who said he was going to use the army and he was going to use the National Guard on his political opponents.
I hate him.
I literally could go on all day.
I hate him.
There is a sort of Russian embrace of disinformation, a radical devaluing of truth. We reach those Americans who apparently didn't go to civics class, apparently didn't learn the basics of this Constitution.
I hate them.
I think this is a big, huge part of the story that it's hard to even digest fully at this moment.
I hate them.
You have Elon Musk, who owns Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days, X, who is a disinformation propagandist and now has could potentially have a direct line to the Oval Office.
I hate them.
Women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them.
I hate them.
That message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy. And, God bless Shannon Watts, who has tried to have that conversation. But if people aren't receptive to it, and if people vote more, party line or more on race than on gender and on protecting their gender, there's really not much more that you can do but tell people what the risks are and leave it to them to do the right thing.
In Washington at a watch party, there's lots of Democrats here, and I have to say a lot of them are starting to go home, and there's a lot of sad faces downstairs. I'm with one of those voters now. How do you feel about the election results so far?
I hate them.
America, so, oh my gosh, the black woman didn't win.
I hate them.
It wouldn't be the first time a rich white man wins.
I think it looks like the race is going in his direction.
Oh, because of the economy and people don't know how it works. So they just vote for how their purse feels, and that's what we're seeing today.
Do you think that she may not win because she's a black woman?
Oh, she definitely won't win because she's a black woman.
Okay, thank you very much.
These Democratic leaders are simpletons. Donor, give me money. And I made an ad. I'm Kamala Harris. I'm full of joy.
I mean, there's a shift right, and then there's a shift to Trump. I'm mystified in some ways, simply because we're talking about a twice impeached, 4 times indicted, convicted on 34 felony counts, former president. I am mystified that despite all of that, he's gaining support compared to 2020. Who are we as a country? Sure, I like it.
Evan, you're in a world of Trump. You're still in a world of Trump. Iowa called for Trump, so there goes that nonsense. I'm getting revved up here on a significant rant.
Evidently, the majority of basically whites in this country willing to accept a dishonorable human being, someone who has been convicted of 34 felonies, someone who has been openly and brazenly racist, someone who has, talked about his love for Putin and Kim Jong-un and made some statements favorable to Hitler.
Voted for him.
Racism is the basic point. It is about folks who are willing to accept him no matter how bad he is, no matter how dishonorable he is, no matter how brazen he is in his racist attitudes, etc. That's what it's all about. People don't like to talk about racism, but the fact of the matter is the majority of his votes are going to come from whites. And that's who has been talking to all campaign about taking the country back. Taking it back from whom? Taking it back from too many minorities who are doing too much. That's what it's really all about. It's not about the economy and all that, people would like to basically hide behind. It's about white versus others.
Are you saying that the majority of Americans are racist?
I'm saying the majority of the Americans will buy into anything as long as they believe that somehow they will have more advantage, they will have more ownership, that they don't have to worry about others who will be equal to them. You can call it what you want, but that's the way it is. There are Latinos who may favor him because they feel that he has the answers to how to be rich, how to be powerful, and how to rule. And this is appealing, I think, to many of them. And so I don't know how much he's expanded the base, but I do know this, that his base is huge. It is basically white, and they are voting for him.
I hate him.